This is wild. Trials of Osiris is in shambles right now. The Destiny 2 players are revolting over a bunch of changes that have happened in the Edge of Fate. So we're going to go through them here, starting off with ZK Mushroom, who's a popular content creator and Destiny 2 Trials enthusiast. He tweets out saying, Trials Flawless doesn't guarantee tier 5 drops and do not give you adepts anymore, which is true. By the way, I won all 7 of my games solo, which has never happened for me before, by the way. I usually lose like half my damn games, but I won all 7 games in a row, had my 7 win streak on my Lighthouse card. I went to the Lighthouse, got 4 drops, and all of them were tier 2 drops. I was shocked. I was like, how do I get a 7 win streak, make it to Lighthouse, and not get tier 5s? Now, should I have to level up in order to do so? I guess so, right? So I guess I can't complain too much. I didn't level up to like power level 400 to earn the tier 5 loot at this point in time. I still got some good rolls with weapons. I'm not too upset about it. I mean, I had fun playing Trials, so in the end, it's not like the worst thing ever, but it seems kind of weird that you can kind of do the most challenging, most difficult thing to do in PvP and not get at least like a tier 4, right? I feel like no matter what your level is, you should at least get a tier 4. Maybe not a tier 5. Maybe we keep that for the grinders, people who really want to get their power level up. That's fine. We can have, a carrot at the end of the stick, right? So let me know what you think about that part. The next part is no point of going flawless except for the glow. Unfortunate, which is true and not true. I mean, the new Trials armor is really, really good. I mean, the armor set bonus on it literally says pick up ammo and it heals you. And it's 70 HP. They tested out. 70 HP for just picking up an ammo brick, and you could just make a ton of it, especially if you're using like special finishers. So basically there's just like infinite healing all over the ground everywhere, on top of orbs healing you with recuperation and things like that. Like you could make some really good builds with it. This is going to be some of the strongest armor, especially for challenging PvE content. So like I'm going to have at least 2 of the Trials armor pieces on when I do the epic raid of the Desert Perpetual, which is going to come out in just like maybe 2-3 months from now. So keep that in mind. And even though I may only have tier 3 armor because apparently, I may not be leveled up in time, that's still going to be my goal. And I'll take the tier 3 armor because that armor set bonus is good. Can't even go to the Lighthouse more than once. Can't bring carries there. That's definitely unfortunate that you are now locked out of the Lighthouse after doing it one time. Your account is completely locked out, so you can't bring the carries there if you're doing Trials carries. Now, people have had mixed opinions on this for a while because while it is awesome to get carried in Trials, and I am a person that has literally carried like well over 1,000 people to Lighthouse, that was my whole shtick for many, many years, and I had a lot of fun doing that. A lot of people also dislike that because in the process of 2 sweaty people, for example, let's say ZK Mushroom and Frostbolt carrying someone to the Lighthouse, well, they help one person achieve the Lighthouse while at the same time denying 3 people. So a lot of people haven't necessarily liked or agreed with that being a system. But hey, we live in America and it's capitalism, baby. So, you're going to do what you got to do in order to get views on Twitch. And people have been doing Trials carries since the beginning, since the dawn of time. People have been doing Trials carries to build up viewership on their Twitch channel. So let me know if you agree with that sentiment and how you feel about the streamers getting the shaft when it comes to going to the Lighthouse multiple times and trying to live as career PvP players inside the playlist, carrying the blueberries out there. Next up, we have might be a bug. People are not seeing the Lighthouse in Portal anymore, but I believe that is accurate. I don't think that you're able to go multiple times. I have not heard anything from Bungie in regards to this, so I don't know if this is, in fact, a bug. Only time will tell. We'll have to look into it and see what they say. The Destiny 2 team tweets out about it. We'll bring you an update. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications on. Next up, we have someone at 400 plus light can lose a game and get a tier 5, which is pretty crazy. But also, the person that grinded to 400 plus light, they technically put in a lot of time, so they technically should get maybe rewarded for that time. I don't know, man. I have kind of mixed opinions with all this stuff because I do think that the more you play Destiny 2, the more powerful you get is the right idea. Like the Bungie is like pushing the right idea for that. The only problem is that the process to do that involves grinding mindlessly in the portal, doing a lot of the same activities like Encore for a while, Kel's Fall, Starcrossed, or even just solo ops, man. I mean, how many of you out there have cleared Caldera for 100 times over now, or K1 Logistics, right? Comment down below how much grinding you've been doing for your power level. It's a little monotonous, right? My biggest complaint, though, has been we just need some new stuff in that playlist because new things, new solo ops missions, new fire team ops missions, new pinnacle mission, maybe. That would really rejuvenate that and make that grind a little less tedious, I think. But I digress from that because we've talked about that pretty extensively, okay? On top of that, we have Nighthawk here tweeting out as well his opinions of Trials loot right now. Trials loot as of right now, win streaks mean nothing unless it's 7-0. Okay, so previously you used to have win streak modifiers where if you got like a 3 win streak or higher, like 3, 5, and 7, you would get higher drops. So we were kind of thinking that that would be associated with the tier drops. So be mindful of that. We need to do a little more research on this, of course, to really figure out exactly what's the incentive to getting these win streaks, right? You only get a +1 tier on the 3 drops you get at the lighthouse. Got you. So you do level up after each match. You get powerful drops, and then obviously you get powerful drops when you get to the lighthouse. But like I said before, I was 270 power when I made it to the lighthouse, and all of my drops were tier 2. Can only access the lighthouse if you have 7 wins on your card, and you can only go once. Trials feels like a quick play activity, so Nighthawk definitely not happy about Trials as well. And we go on now. We have Frostbolt here. He says, actually, so lame that you don't get properly rewarded for going flawless in Trials, and you're capped to 1 trip per account. Crying emoji. Right now, it doesn't feel like Endgame is rewarding for you for your efforts. Same issue with raids and contest mode, right? So what he's referencing there is that when you cleared the contest mode raid, you still got tier 1 drops. And I definitely think you should get some higher drops for clearing contests, especially considering how difficult it is, right? But contest is created for kind of a superficial challenge where you just get the emblem. That's your goal. That's your effort. If they did give you tier 5s for clearing contests, there would be a lot of casual people that would be really upset because, let's be honest, 200 teams cleared it legitimately. 400 teams cheated to clear it, right? That's like 600 teams total. There's like hundreds of thousands of people playing Destiny, right? So many people would be locked out of the opportunity to get those tier 5 drops early on. So I'm okay with contest mode just giving us the emblem because I know that that's what it's meant to be. I know it's not meant to reward us with the best weaponry. We do get the new exotic as well, too, so it's not like we can complain too much. We literally get the new exotic right off the rip, and we get the emblem. So, beggars can't be choosers here, and we enjoy the contest mode being difficult. And I'm not sure how you feel about the Trials Sherpas out there, the Trials carry streamers getting locked out after 1 account, but they're not happy about it, all right? They're pissed. In fact, Grenadier Jake goes on to say this right here. Listen, this isn't me complaining. I'm just saying, it feels like Trials has lost its identity. So he is distraught, okay? So let's go on to the next part. He says, Trials needs to be dropping way more powerful loot if we want a player base in this playlist. So the drops are not sufficient enough for him. I think he said like you get like +1 drops along the way. To clarify, from 200 to 400 power, Trials will be dropping a solid amount of +3s. So it's not a bad way to grind power. But from 400 to 450, the +3 drops are insanely low. 1 in 2+ hours of almost all wins as the top player. This needs to be higher. So there is a ton of RNG. I believe that as you're trying to get those powerful drops in the other playlists, it's like a 5 to 10% chance. So that might actually line up pretty well. And obviously, if you're doing really well, fragging out, getting lots of kills in Trials, maybe you should get an increase on that. But this kind of just goes back to the similar topic that we've been talking about really all week in these last 2 weeks, which is how intense should the power grind be? And a lot of people have been saying emphatically in the comment section, Lucky, grinding power is not content. And I do agree with you. Like just solely like grinding power, make number bigger is not good content at all. But it should also be said that we're not really just doing that when we are doing these activities. We're technically grinding for weapons, we're technically grinding for new armor, and we're grinding for power, and we technically get upgrade materials along the way. Plus, you're technically beating, different Guardian rank objectives, maybe even beating different objectives for your seal, seasonal challenges to level yourself up for XP so you can unlock artifact mods. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Let's be honest, right? When you do a solo ops, you're not just grinding your power and nothing else. You're getting like 15 things from every single clear that you do it. Like if you're actually lining up all your objectives, if you're adding, bounties into that and everything, right? You could be really multitasking quite a bit. So to say that solo ops and trials or even any activity is just a power focused thing only, I think maybe mischaracterizes a little bit. I do think that the power grind it's a little too intense for the average person right now. They maybe Bungie might adjust it a little bit, but this is meant to be a 6-month time period. So if you're out there watching right now and you're like, man, I'm not getting tier 5s. Guess what? You and I, we're in the same party. I just went to the damn lighthouse and I got tier 2 drops. I was a little salty, but then the first thing I thought to myself is, I'm salty, but technically I didn't put in the work. I didn't put in the time to level up. So I went in there, I, pulled up my bootstraps, and I got back into the salt mines. I threw myself back into K1 Revelations. I got back on the moon and started leveling up again, and now I'm at almost 300 power. And now from now on, now that I'm at 300 power, I will start to get tier 3 drops, right? Consistently, because I've leveled up my Guardian rank and I leveled up my power. So I'm like Guardian rank 7, power level 300. So now I get tier 3s, which, it's a little tedious. It feels a little chore-like, right? You kind of got to do your chores before you can get the good loot, right? But the system, it does allow new players to jump in quickly and get some good stuff. Like you're literally going to get Bushido armor right off the bat. It's got that good armor trait. You're going to get some weapons right off the bat. They're the same weapons. They're just tier 1s. They could have god rolls on them as well too. So it's like the system is not perfect. It definitely has a bunch of flaws, but Bungie needs to improve on it. The only trial streamer that I saw that was having literally the best day of his life, like this guy could not stop beaming from ear to ear, was Defizzle. This guy is out here. Everything he's tweeting, he's having the best day of his life because this guy got online and just grinded nonstop until he hit 450 power. He was one of the first people in the world to hit 450 power. At this point in time right now, there's only 12 people in the entire world that have 450 power. Well, now that he's 450, look at all his trials armor. Tier 5, tier 5, tier 5, tier 5, tier 5. Everything is tier 5. Everything he does in trials, look, forgiveness, tier 5 weapon. Look at all these extra perks. Enhanced origin trait, enhanced magazine, enhanced barrel. This is nice. All of his weapons are all tier 5. I have all the extra perks, making it much easier to get god rolls. I mean, when you do get there, when you do get up to tier 5, when you do get to power level 400, Bungie do be rewarding you, okay? It might be a grind. It may take the average player out there a month to get there, right? At a casual pace, at a chill pace. It might take you a month, might take you 2 months. I don't know. Well, time will tell how long it takes, right? We'll find out together, right? I'm obviously a streamer, but, I'm not grinding like crazy for a power level. I'm trying to cover content and stuff. And I'm at about power level 300 now. And we'll see how long it takes me. It's August 1st right now. See how long it takes me to go from 300 up to 400, how many hours we got to put in. And we'll have those calculations together, and we'll be able to give you an idea of what the grind is like. It seems like it's worth it when you do get there, though, right? I just wish it didn't take so damn long to get up to 450 power, because, man, do I want this loot. Look at this loot. Oh, my gosh. This looks nice. Let me know what you think, though, about the Trials disaster down in the comment section below. Do you agree with the PvP content creators and their frustrations? Or do you think that they're over dramatic a little bit in the situation? We'll be reading the comments, and we'll keep you up to date on all the news in Destiny 2. So smash the like button for me. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.